Hey everybody, Pete here with PNP Real Estate. A couple of months ago I did a 5 for Friday, and one of the products that I was using was called Annie Sloan paint. So today I'm headed to this beautiful little community called Westbury Park, where I'm going to meet with Dina Facciola, who's one of the best chalk paint people here in the Lowcountry. She's got a small studio in her garage, so I hope you find this episode interesting. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm here with Dina Facciola.
Yes, correct.
Chalk paint extraordinaire, one of the best in the Lowcountry. So if you have anything, take it to her. You can find her at the Coastal Exchange, correct?
I work Thursday and Fridays at Coastal Exchange.
That's in Bluffton. That was on our 5 for Friday last week. And then you work in Savannah too, correct?
I have a booth in Savannah at Two Women in a Warehouse.
Two Women in a Warehouse.
And then I also have pieces and eccentricities right on.
Awesome. So you can find her in a lot of different places.
Yes.
So anyway, chalk painting, it's the new thing to do, and Dina's one of the best. So she's going to give you a few tips as she addresses and tunes this piece up right here.
Yeah, great. So you can take any piece that we get from the thrift store, it's damaged, and you can turn it into a showpiece. So your first coat is basically your primer. When this had a big thing, I had a Bondo. That's why we got it for steel. And you're just going to go in any direction that you want to go. I like texture, so I like to go in a lot of different directions. Basically, you're just going to cover it with one coat of paint.
So you really can't screw up.
You can't do it. You can do it anyway. You can go back and forth. There's no right or wrong.
It's dummy proof.
It's pretty dummy proof. Yeah. If something bleeds through, you can put it, that's why this is so shiny. I put a coat of shellac on it so like none of the stain comes through, but you do not have to sand. I just clean my pieces with vinegar, water, and a little bit of Dawn in a squirt bottle and a wet rag to get the oils off. And
so it really what gives it the character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's basically it.
Even I could do this.
Yes, yes. Pete can do this. Anybody can do it. It's a lot of fun.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I used to be in the car business, and now I do this for a living. So, yeah. So, and you just continue on all the way, and then you let it dry for about 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what we do with the second coat.
Awesome. Okay, so you got your primer coat on.
Right. This is your first coat. We consider a primer coat.
Okay, so now you're on coat 2.
And now you're on coat 2, which is it. And you're just going to basically do the same thing. You're going to go back over it, but you'll see how great the coverage is. And I like Annie Sloan paint. She is the originator of chalk paint. And I just like the coverage. I like the colors. I never have an issue with it. And you can get it at Mum's the Word.
Mom's the Word. That we also did that. That's down in Wexford Plaza on Hilton Head, right?
With Dorothy. And she can color mix any color you want. You can bring fabric samples in. She teaches classes if you really want to get into the different finishes. She's a really great lady. And that's basically it. This is going to be your second coat. And see how much nice it goes over. It's going to dry really, really has no sheen. It's very chalky, and that's why they call it chalk paint.
So that's amazing. Just 2 coats of paint will cover a whole thing.
Yep. And
if you're painting your walls, sometimes you're 3 coats.
Right. And this is, a very dark mahogany finish, and it's going to cover in this 2 coats.
That's amazing. Two coats.
2 coats. So there you go.
Okay, so the piece that Dina just painted, it takes half hour to dry, so we're going to set that piece aside. But this one is a piece that she's doing, that she's donating. Yes. Right? Okay. Yes. And so she's now going to show you how to sand it so it gives it that antique classic look, age look.
Yeah. So I just sand. I like 220 is what I use most of the time.
220 is the grit of sandpaper.
Grit of sandpaper.
Okay.
Correct. And you're just going to go over basically the whole piece and smooth it out, smooth all the bumps, things, imperfections, and then I distress on the edges most of the time where you'd naturally be worn. So I go down the drawers, on the edges, the legs, and I get, the bottom because the bottom would wear more than the top. And you just do the entire piece like that. And you smooth out the finish, any bumps, and that's basically it. And then you're going to put a wax or top coat, and you're done.
So you put on the primer coat, which is the first coat. It takes, and then it dries. So let's say 40 minutes total.
Right.
Then you put on a second coat.
Yeah, it takes
another 30 to 40, and then you just do the sanding.
And then you sand. Yeah, I usually like to wait 24 hours before I put a wax or a top coat on.
Okay.
Just to let the paint cure because we have so much humidity here.
And you want it to breathe a little bit while it's curing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
So, like she said, it's simple. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, any of you guys can do it. It's Annie Sloan paint. Look for it online. Check out the link in the show notes. Dina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pete.
We'll see y'all next time.
Happy painting.